Good morning. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for the invitation of VIAE Expo. I'm coming from Europe, Bulgaria, and managing a Camo organization, which is the continuous air management organization under Easa, Bermuda, Jersey, Cayman, and supporting mainly the leasing companies and some airlines in some part of the world. I'll be speaking about the Camo and the Easa requirements in order to understand more why the airlines and leasing company sometimes has to use a Camo organization as us in order to save the cost, to save the time and resources sometimes. To understand who I am, 35 years in the aviation, across over 100 countries, last 22 years. Established one of the biggest Camo organization in the world, I could say. We supporting the big leasing companies in the 6 continents currently, and we got all the 28 type of airplanes, like almost all Boeings, Airbuses, ATRs, Embraers, and business jets. Additionally, I see here in Vietnam they're using some big software companies but I'm kind of the guys that like to invest in many things. One of the things is software. So we established software, something like Amos as well for some of our clients. The flight data monitoring software, which is mandatory thing for Easa especially, and I believe most of the part of the world. And we have clients even from, I think, from Thailand, Vietnam, India, from many, many countries. Additionally, I'm investing in many softwares in the drones at the moment, in the future. So I believe really, I was really impressed with the presentation of Boeing. This is the future. And I could say I'm the president of the Bulgarian Aviation Industry Association, where under my umbrella are airlines, MROs, drones, and software companies. So we are really looking for the future and the drones and VTOLs, ETOLs. At the moment, actually next month we have a small exhibition, the first time in Bulgaria, in Sofia, especially for the drones, VTOLs, ETOLs, which we believe that we want to present to the government where, in which area they can use more efficiently. I like to point that, especially for the lessor and even for the lessees, the Camo organization is so important because for me it's the heart. We can save a lot of money and time if we prepare proper maintenance, proper forecast, and keep the records in a good order. We can predict some of the stops of the airplane to avoid. In the past, we worked with Lufthansa Technik as well to support them for a Ryanair maintenance program to keep the minimum time of the airplane on ground in order to make money. Because in the aviation, at the end, everything is money, and everything's so expensive, so each saving makes the airline alive. So even if you have the best Camo organization, if we have the best MRO organization, if there is not a good communication between all of these organizations, we can fail. So the key persons in each department which communicate with the other organization should be a very well knowledge, skill, and to know exactly what he's requiring and what is his demand. Why Easa Camo organization is important, and based on my experience even in Vietnam and this region, During the lease transitions, we face a lot of issues sometimes not so, depending on the organizations, with managing of the records of the airplane, which is the 80% of the value of the aircraft. Such organization as the Camo organizations, actually, we're trying to save the cost of the airlines and the leasing companies, depending on which side we are contracted, based on the proper organization and preparation of the records and following the airworthiness directive, service bulletins and everything, in order to make the turnaround time for deliveries, redeliveries to the leasing companies to the minimum. I've been here since 2003 in Vietnam, actually, taking some 767 2003, and when the 777 was coming here, I was here in Vietnam. So since then, I'm coming from time to time. For that reason, again, I'm here. I love this country, and there is a big potential on next years, seeing Boeing, what they present, and all the market forecast, which I seeing yesterday and today, and on the other exhibitions which I'm visiting. There is a big demand, so our job is to save the costs, especially after this COVID. The boom is too big, the manpower not enough, so we're trying to help some of the operators and leasing companies with our staff. I have about 100 guys all over the world helping the leasing company mainly, but the operators, because we are subcontracting with some of the operators, especially in Asia and Europe. Easa is the most, what to say, FAA is more constant. Easa is changing very often. Too many regulations, we're changing every 6 months something in our expositions, in our documents, based on the Easa changes of the record. Even this year, we had to change completely our certificate because Easa changed from Camo to part Camo. Some requirements change a lot, some not so much. But if you are not following on weekly basis, you can miss some stuff, which can cost you some money at the end. Camo organization, my colleague already said, we are following all the records, planning, forecast for the airlines and for the leasing company. I don't know if there are many leasing companies here. I saw just one yesterday, which we spoke. But they really need us in order to support and to provide good aircraft with good records to the lessees and to operators. We help a lot of leasing companies during this COVID situation. I can say that most of our organizations like us were overloaded. We hired a lot of additional people. The problem was with the training. So we had to train a lot of people left their airlines and join us because of the current situation, not many flights. Now it's going opposite. A lot of new airlines coming, the fleet is growing up. So the airlines are looking for more and more staff, which is, I could say, everywhere in the world, it's an issue. And we have to focus on the young people. I see a lot of young people, and I'm teaching in the university young people as well, helping when I have time. But they are our future, which we have to pay attention and take time to teach them properly how to maintain, how to read the manuals and maintain the aircraft. So during the storage, there were not enough MROs. And for that reason, with some of the colleagues here yesterday, we spoke. We were looking for MROs Easa certified here in Vietnam, and there is just one. And I think it's a big potential because you have a lot of manpower and a lot of airplanes. If you can establish more MROs, and which will bring money and lessors to perform the job here, which is good for Vietnam. And I'll be ready to work with them because definitely I see a big market here for the MROs under Easa FA is a little bit different now. I think more difficult to get FA. But with Easa, within 1-2 years, you can get usually 2 years now. With the slow, they're too busy, and it takes about 2 years. I've been helping some companies in Turkey, Mexico now. So if we spoke yesterday, it takes about 2 years to get the Easa certification, but you should start right now. We help a lot of startup airlines. I saw here that there are some cargo airlines, which I think 3 years ago when I was here with some of my colleagues from Vietnam, I asked why there is no cargo airlines in Vietnam. There is a lot of production which actually is going to Europe via FedEx, via DHL, and there is no cargo airline. I couldn't understand exactly why, and I think now I see the result. There are 2 airlines which are starting with cargo, and I really appreciate that because there is a big potential. I see the last years the cargo demand is high. There is no enough facilities for cargo conversions. Currently I have people, I think, in the United States, Canada, China for cargo conversion in Israel, and the queue is too long. So maybe this is another opportunity here in Asia for such cargo and conversion that has to be increased. Because I see some drones now with 350 kilograms, which can fly 2,500 kilometers. So DHL contracting, so it's getting some kind of competition between drones and airplanes. But of course, the volume is completely different, but can be supporting one of the other ones. This is something what we do for many leasing companies and for many airlines in the world. So in our organization, we have 7 airworthiness inspectors, which are like DER in the FAA. So most of the leasing contracts required during redelivery the airplane to meet Easa regulations. So at this time, we check the records, we check the aircraft, and we issue a statement if this aircraft meets Easa and can be easy transferred to each country in Europe, this is just because of the value of the airplane. Most of the leasing companies, they're going to using FA and Easa in order to keep the value of the aircraft to the high standard and to easy sell and lease the aircraft to the market. So such IRC recommendations, it's I don't know in Vietnam if you have this additional thing for the CFA, the Certificate of Airworthiness, which we do for many airlines like Wizz Air is our customer, Vueling, Voltaire. Many airlines in Europe are using us, and many airlines in the world, during transitions, they're calling us to issue such certificate in order to present to the lessor that the airplanes meets the return condition of the lease agreement. So for these things, we definitely can help a lot of airlines in Vietnam. In order, even if we start early, we can help them during the transition back, especially the returns. Sometimes the returns to the leasing company takes with delay a month or 2, which every day is a cost, and definitely over there we can save them time and money if we are invited to check the aircraft configuration and the records, if meets FA or Easa, because in my organization, even I have FA license. So both ways we can support the airlines in Vietnam and the region. So the last thing what I can say that at the moment we are establishing an office in Hong Kong to cover the region, and I'll be happy to work with Vietnam Airlines in the region to assist them somehow and develop the Easa. More Easa is coming everywhere in the world because the standard is too high, and leasing companies like to use this as a safe back for the value of the airplane. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.